Today's stories are absolutely insane. A guy who realizes he's been accidentally dating his best friend for 10 years. A wedding revenge plot you have to hear to believe. A girlfriend who tried to give her boyfriend an ultimatum over a roommate. And a cheating story with an update that will leave your jaw on the floor. Let's get into it. Story 1. I'm a 32-year-old male and I've been sleeping with my best friend, a 32-year-old female, for 2 weeks. And I think we've been dating for 10 years and never even realized. So me and Sophie have been best friends since like the first grade. She was my next door neighbor growing up. We went to the same college and we got jobs in the same city. And we've been roommates since we were like 25. So typing this out, it almost seems like we've been a couple all along. But honestly, I've never really thought of her sexually since we were teenagers. She had a boyfriend at like 17 and they were really in love with each other. And I was good friends with him too. But unfortunately, he drowned about a week after we graduated high school. She was obviously a wreck and I helped her as much as I could to get through. And in the process, we pretty much became inseparable. It's not like one of us was clinging to the other. It was completely mutual. We like the same things, we have the same interests, and we did stuff together all the time. When she was having a hard time sleeping because of Rick's drowning, she'd ask to come over because she didn't want to be alone. And of course, I was there for her. Eventually, we graduated college and decided to get jobs in the same city. And then, after that, we decided to move in together as roommates because we'd save a ton of money and we were always hanging out together anyway. Now I realize that basically we've been a couple this whole time, except we just weren't sleeping together. Of course, she would have a guy over sometimes, but it was never anything serious. And it was the same with me. I dated a bit, but I never really felt a connection with any of them. So about 2 weeks ago, we were watching wrestling, like we do every week, and she started softly crying. We were sitting just inches from each other on the couch, so of course I put my arm around her, and I asked if she was okay, and if she needed to talk. Basically, she'd been having a hard time finding a guy, and she was really upset about it. She's always been kind of thick, but now she's a little chubby, and she said that attractive guys don't want her anymore. So I'm trying to be supportive and I wasn't lying. I've always thought she was really pretty, and I told her that's not true. Plenty of guys would love to be with you. Now, she's not a prude or anything, and we always make crude jokes with each other. So I said something like, if we weren't like the best friends ever, I'd have been trying to get with you for the past 10 years. And she gave me this look, like I had just flipped a switch on a robot. She was just staring right into my eye, and my brain is telling me, kiss her. And so I did. We were making out for probably 5 minutes. She had pulled my shirt off, and I had pulled hers off. And then I'm thinking, oh my god, what am I doing? So I stopped, and I'm like, whoa, we need to think about this. Are we sure we want to go down this road? We talked for maybe 2 minutes, and we basically decided, hey, we've been friends for 25 years, and we've been through way worse together. One night together shouldn't be an issue. It was by far the best night of my life. And since then, it's happened at least once every single day, sometimes 2 or 3 times. We both know we need to talk about this, but we keep saying we'll discuss it tomorrow when we'll have more time. But I know we have to discuss it, like soon, and I'm scared. I think I've realized that I've been madly in love with her this entire time, and that's why I never connected with any of the other women I dated. And I'm really hoping it's the same for her. I think we might have both felt this way for a long time, and we're only now finally realizing. It just sounds so crazy. Like, what is going on? Am I crazy? Am I getting my hopes up? And if she doesn't feel the same way I do, how could I ever hang out with her again? What do I do? Now here's where it gets good, because this Redditor actually came back and posted an update. So she got home, and I told her, we need to talk, and she seemed disappointed. So I was really bummed. Like, she looked like she wanted to cry. But I said, please, just let me say what I need to say, and then we can go from there. I told her that since we had started sleeping together, I've realized I'd been in love with her for a really long time, and just didn't realize it. And she started trying to hold back tears, and I got the worst knot in my stomach, and thought I was literally going to puke. I told her, it's okay if you don't feel the same. I would always be there for you as a friend, and I'd try my best to not let my feelings get in the way. But now that it's out there, I guess there isn't any going back. She told me to stop, and she was crying. I stopped, and it felt like an eternity just sitting there. I couldn't even look her in the face. Then she just kind of wrapped her arms around me and buried her face in my chest and was sobbing. And I'm just sitting there, confused, trying to figure out, is this good or horrible? Finally, she looks up at me and says she's been waiting for me to say that since college, and that the reason she was crying with me on the couch the other week was because she thought it had been long enough and it wasn't going to happen. And that's why she kept trying to put off having a talk after we got together, because she thought that was the closest we'd ever come to being a couple. Now, we're waiting for our Chinese food to arrive after an amazing night together. Thanks so much for the advice and for getting me to finally say something. And they lived happily ever after. But don't get too comfortable, because this next story is pure chaos. Wedding drama, family betrayal, and revenge served ice cold. Story 2. Am I the jerk for announcing our pregnancy at my brother's wedding after he proposed at mine? My brother said he was going to propose at my wedding. I told him no, that it was a day about myself and my wife, and we did not want any distraction. My mom lost her mind. She said that he wanted wanted family he might not see again for a while to be a part of the proposal. I said I did not care, and that if he did it, I would have him kicked out. He did, and my mom said if I tried kicking him out, she would leave too. I just remember seething inside. Well, my brother got married last weekend, and instead of a welcome to the family toast, I used the time to announce that we were expecting our first baby. My mom was upset, but my grandmother told her to sit down and be quiet. We spent most of the reception talking to family we would not see again for a while about our coming baby. Now my mom says I was a jerk for taking attention away from my brother on his wedding day, but she got really mad when I reminded her that she threatened to leave my wedding if I kicked him out after he proposed. And yes, I have the screenshots of the text messages. Okay, that was petty perfection. But this next story is different. It's not crazy. It's actually one of the most wholesome things I've ever read. Story 3. Yesterday, I froze during an intimate moment, and my girlfriend asked if we should stop. I said yes, and she backed off. I've never been treated like this before. I'm a 23-year-old male, and I've been assaulted before, twice, and this has affected me and my relationship a lot. 2 days ago, my girlfriend, who's also 23, was in my lap, and we were making out, and suddenly, the memories came flooding into my mind, and I froze. She obviously sensed it and asked if everything was okay, but I couldn't answer, and I'd begun to sweat. She got off my lap and asked if I wanted to talk, but I still couldn't say anything. Then she asked if she should leave the room, and I gave a small nod. She just grabbed her phone from the table and left. This has never happened. Nobody has listened to my no before. It feels weird. Different? I don't know. The next morning, when I woke up, she had made breakfast and left me a note saying if I wanted to talk, I could call her anytime. She came over after work, and I thanked her for listening to me. I was almost in tears. She welled up too and said, no obviously means no, but hesitation means no too, and I would never knowingly hurt you. I've never been treated like this before. My parents were awful, and almost every relationship I've had, 3 of them, were also just as bad. But she's different. She's been my rock when I've fallen low. She cooks for me because she wants me to be healthy. She leaves notes of affirmation all over the house for me to find. And she is generally the most genuine, amazing person I've ever met. I want to show my gratitude to her and tell her how much she means to me, but I don't know how. Also, it's still weighing on me how much my voice matters to her. Never in my life have I ever been treated like. So, how do I tell her how much she means to me? And will I ever stop feeling this way? Now, if that one warmed your heart, I'm sorry, because this next one is going to break. And then the update is going to have you cheering. This is a masterclass in walking away. Story 4. My boyfriend of 7 years cheated on me. I'm going to disappear from his life. Is there anything I'm missing? I'm a 27-year-old female, and I just found out my boyfriend, who's 29, and who I've been with for 7 years, cheated on me. My boyfriend went to our home state to see his family for the weekend. He's been going quite often this year, about once a month, saying it's because his grandparents are old, and they miss him. I thought nothing of it until this morning. I got a screenshot from a mutual friend of ours of my boyfriend's location on Snapchat. He was at his parents' house, but a girl's Bitmoji was there as well. It wasn't his sister or his mom, and his parents, who weirdly also have Snapchat, weren't home either. He didn't tell me he was going to be with anyone else today. I tried to call him, but he did not pick up. I looked on Snapchat, and his location was turned off. The mutual friend says my boyfriend has told everyone back home that we broke up 4 months ago. He said my boyfriend was making him stay quiet about it because he was, quote, trying to find the right time to tell me. As far as his parents know, he's moving home once our lease is up. And the reason our mutual friend finally told me was because he walked in on my boyfriend and the girl together that very morning. I texted an old friend who lives in my hometown, and she immediately asked, why is your boyfriend on Tinder? We caught up, and she sent me proof. His photo, his bio. It hurt to see that photos I took of him were being used. He had even covered my face in a photo we took together and captioned it, this could be you. I had no idea his family thought we were broken up and that he was looking for other people to date. We even went to Italy a month ago, celebrating our 7-year anniversary. I'm so confused, and I don't know what to do. I look around, and everything in our apartment seems like a lie. The soon-to-be ex texted me just now, and he's on his flight back. He'll be here in about 5 hours. Obviously, he can find his own way to the apartment from the airport. I'm shocked and numb, but my best friend is with helping me pack up all my clothes. I'm leaving, and I'm not leaving a trace of myself behind. Our dog is coming with me, and I'll be staying at my best friend's place for now. We already have separate bank accounts, and our joint account doesn't have much in it right now. I make more than he does, so he can keep it. I can't go to the leasing office because it's closed on Sundays, but I sent an email asking for early termination on the lease. We're registered as domestic partners, so I've completed the termination form, and I'll drive it up to the county office tomorrow. He's on my health insurance, and I've already emailed HR to kick him off as soon as possible. We have several large photo albums together, and I'm not sure what to do with those. Keeping them would be too difficult, but I don't want him to have the satisfaction of having our photos. It's clear he uses our memories in a horrible way. Is there anything I'm missing? I can't seem to think of anything, and all my thoughts are so jumbled. Nothing makes sense, but I know I can't stay. Any help to ghost a person this close to my heart would be appreciated. And you know she came back, because 18 hours later, this Redditor posted an update. It's been an incredibly busy 18 hours, but I've had a lot of help from my friends. I haven't been able to sleep either. As far as what happened since he arrived, here's what's up. I already blocked him before he landed. I received many texts and calls from his parents and sister that I didn't see. Then, when I noticed his sister calling, I picked up. At first, the call was hostile. She accused me of being some crazy ex-girlfriend who couldn't let her brother go. Funny, since I just packed up and left. She brought up that it had been 4 months and that I needed to move on. I told her that her brother never approached me about breaking up, and that 1 month ago we celebrated our 7th anniversary and started planning our wedding. I had no indication he even wanted to break up. We reset a bit, and she allowed me to tell her my side of the story. I told her he was somewhat distant this year, but he blamed it on their grandparents being old and wanting to spend more time with them before they passed. Turns out, their grandparents have been dead for 2 years. I never met them, because my ex claimed they were super racist since the grandpa was a Vietnam War vet and I'm Southeast Asian. Turns out, you can't be racist when you're dead. We ended the call on a positive note, with his sister saying it was a lot to take in. She said she felt bad because the girl he was cheating on me with was one of her friends. She had introduced them to each other sometime last year, when my ex was apparently unhappy with our relationship. They hit it off, and he was supposed to break it off with me. I guess he never had the guts to do it. She was also confused as to why he was on Tinder, since he was in a relationship with her friend. So, after hanging up, I sent her all the Tinder receipts. Later in the night, I received an email from the ex. To sum it up, yes, he asked me to come to the apartment to talk it out. No, he did not apologize for anything. And he ended the email with, "I love you." As far as I know, he doesn't know where I am. I also don't believe he knows where my friend lives, as she just moved and he hasn't been here. He doesn't seem like that type of person. But then again, I guess I never really knew him at all. We'll keep the locks ready and bats near the door. It's been so helpful just writing out everything that's happened. But all of your advice, support, and guidance has made me feel empowered to leave. At times, I just wanted to stop packing and hope that when he came home, everything would go back to normal. Your words of encouragement really helped me follow through. Nothing good would have come from staying. Thank you all. Again, what a legend. Absolutely flawless exit. Alright, one more story for today, and this one is a roommate situation that spiraled completely out of control. Story 5. Am I the jerk for not kicking out my roommate just because my girlfriend thinks he might be trans? I'm a 22-year-old male, and I have a roommate, let's call him Alex, who's 23 and moved in about 6 months ago. I honestly never considered that Alex might be trans. Not that I would care if he was, but that's not the issue. He's a short guy, probably under 5'5", has a lot of facial hair, muscles, and honestly looks like a short Henry Cavill in my opinion. No one I know has ever brought up this idea before, and I've had my friends and family at our apartment. And this is really the part that gets to me, because my mom is extremely against any gay people, and if she sensed anything was up, she would have caused problems right away. Alex and I get along. We're polite, but not really friends. He's quiet, but super. Always pays rent on time, helps with chores, and even shares his cooking with me. I appreciate having him around, especially because my last 3 roommates were each their own horror story. The issue came up when my girlfriend, let's call her Sarah, she's 28, came over one day. Alex was shirtless. To clarify, I forgot to tell Alex that she was coming over, and she noticed the scars on his chest. After that, she was quiet and short with me her entire stay. When she got home, she blew up my phone, asking why I had a female living with. I was confused and asked what she was on about. She says she knows his scars are from top surgery and that he's short, so he has to be trans. I tried to explain that even if Alex is trans, there is no way I'd be attracted to him, because to any person who looked at him, you would see a guy. Plus, he's respectful and doesn't cause drama like my last roommates, which she knows all about. And just to be clear, I honestly still have no idea if Alex is even trans. I googled it, and those scars could be from some other surgery, like heart surgery. And I really don't have an argument for him being short, but there are a lot of short men. At first, Sarah wanted me to just ask Alex if he was trans, which, why would I do that? Or, she wanted his last name, so she could run a background check. I said no to both. Then, she said this was a violation of trust, and that if I didn't either find out and kick him out, or just kick him out anyway, she would have to, quote, reevaluate things, basically threatening to break up. So I said, I don't do ultimatums, and we're done. Since then, she's been messaging me every single day for over 2 weeks, even after I blocked her on everything, because she wouldn't leave me alone. She's furious that I wouldn't do this small thing for her. Her messages range from, "Are you sleeping with him?" to, "Let's just talk," to, "Why can't you at least give me closure and ask him?" And most recently, she's been telling our mutual friend about the situation, and our friend wants no part of the search. I didn't feel bad at first, but after talking about it online, some people have said I should have just asked my roommate if he was trans to keep the peace, or that I shouldn't have picked a roommate I've only had for 6 months over my girlfriend of 5 years. So now I wonder, am I being unreasonable? I legitimately legitimately don't see how this was worth blowing everything up over. But maybe I should have done something just to keep the peace. And that's it for today's stories. So, what would you have done in these situations? Was he the jerk? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. I post new stories every single day. See you in the next one.